Hi, this is Lee from freegardeningtipsvideos.com, and today I'm going to give you some tips on planting and maintaining your flowers. The first thing you need to do is plan the placement of your flowers, because most annuals like to be planted in full sun, so you want to be sure to have a spot in the garden that gets around 6 to 8 hours of sun each day. To plant your flowers, dig a hole that is a little bit bigger than the size of the dirt cup that your flower is currently in. Pinch the cup on all four sides, and your flower plus the root pack should really slide out very easily. Sometimes the roots will be all scrunched up together, and I like to gently spread them out and then place them in the hole. Make sure that the top soil line from the dirt cup is even with the top of the soil line in your garden. Then you want to fill the hole in with the rest of the dirt and maybe add some compost and then gently pat this down. You want to water your newly planted flowers thoroughly, and I usually make a little well around the planting and then run water into it, letting it seep into the ground, and I repeat that process about 2 or 3 times right after I plant the flower. For best results, space your plants about 12 inches apart so that each flower will have space to flourish and grow. Water is key to your flower's survival, and you want to be sure to water at least once a week, depending on your local conditions. Give the garden a good soaking each time you water. In warmer weather, you might need to water more often, and if there hasn't been any rain, be sure to keep an eye on how dry your soil is and water the flowers if they need it. Be sure not to overwater them, though, because this can cause them to get all weepy looking and it isn't good for them. You want to pay particular attention to this if your flowers are in containers, because you can easily overwater them and it could kill them. When you water your flowers, you want to avoid getting water on the leaves and petals, because this can cause fungus and invite pests. If you are using a mister hose, be careful not to spray directly on the flower and make sure that the water doesn't splash up even when you're watering the ground underneath the flower. I find that one of those soaker hoses that has the teeny tiny holes in it does the trick quite nicely, and you can even bury that under the soil or just snake it around the plants in your garden and leave it in place all summer long. Flowers really don't require too much maintenance, but a little bit of extra effort will pay off big time. To get thick bushy flowers, try pinching off a bud or two every so often. You want to get them just as they are forming and before they open, and this will encourage more flower growth on the plant. You want to fertilize your flowers once a month. Try using an organic fertilizer, because this is just better for the environment, and they work pretty good. My friend had a horse, and she used just plain manure and got astounding results. But if you don't have a horse or can't get manure, there are plenty of other organic fertilizers. I like to use a fish emulsion fertilizer, and that works wonders too. To keep your flowers healthy and looking their best, check them for any discoloration or holes in the leaves, petals, and stems, which can indicate disease or pest. Remember any affected parts of the plant and take them to your local nursery, as they will be able to best advise you on what to do to fix the problem. You'll want to remove any of the leaves or flowers that have any of these diseases or pests so that the problem doesn't spread to the rest of your flowers. So there you have it. It's that easy to care for plants. For more tips on gardening and plant care, please visit freegardeningtipsvideos.com.